Hi everyone, welcome back to another 21 and Sensory podcast episode with me, Emily. On today's episode I have special guest Hannah, who you might know as @SadSnailAdventures on Instagram. Hannah is an illustrator who created SadSnailAdventures after discovering she is neurodivergent and was diagnosed with autism. Hannah wanted to build a creative space to share the highs, lows and everything in between about living as a neurodivergent person, hoping it helps others feel less alone. Hannah loves bringing her illustrations and products to life on her Etsy store of the same name, and I'm excited to chat to her about all things creative. So Hannah, would you like to say hello?
Hello.
Hi, thank you so much for being up for this.
You're welcome.
So yes, everyone, we've got Hannah on today, and I'm very excited because, as I said, Hannah has this amazing Instagram account. Are you also on TikTok as well? Am I
Yeah, but I forget to post on there, so
fair?
a bit sporadic.
There's just so many social medias.
I know.
Yeah, so I think I first started following you pretty early on.
Oh, really?
I remember this very cute snail called Sludge, and I was like, I'm on board. Like, let's see where Sludge goes. So yes, honestly, it's been really interesting to see like your growth because you've got quite a few followers now.
Yeah, definitely was not something I had ever foreseen happening.
Amazing. We'll definitely get to that, but let's start as I always tend to start. Um, Diagnoses. Can you tell us a little bit about your kind of journey and the process?
Yeah. So I got diagnosed with autism like last September,
Oh, okay,
so
that's
quite
recent.
recently.
Yeah.
Mainly because it all came about because I was in my old job and I was just probably struggling more than I ever have in my life thus far,
Mhm.
and just kept dropping days, kept just using all my holiday to just have days off.
Mhm.
And I just felt like I was just like, why am I struggling so hard, like with life,
Mhm.
compared to other people I see around me? And I think I just got to the point where I was like, I think I just need to know if it is that I'm autistic, or if it's not, then what could it be? Because I think I just spent so long chasing an answer and kind of guessing, oh, it might be this, it might be that. I just
Mhm.
wanted to finally know, yes or no, am I barking up the right tree? And if not, what is the right tree?
Mhm.
But turns out autism was the right tree.
Yay.
Um, So, yeah, my parents were super supportive, luckily, because I tried to go the NHS route first of all, but
Mhm.
didn't have a good first experience because I filled out the initial form, got enough points to go through to appointment with the doctor.
Sorry,
hmm
why does that sound like a talent show thing? Like I got enough points to go through to the
Yeah,
next round.
it's there's only like 5 questions on it. You get this questionnaire. There's like 5 questions. They're super vague, and I can't remember. I think you might do like a yes or no,
Mhm.
and then those equal points. And if you score above a certain amount of points, you can go on to like getting to see a doctor to ask you questions.
Mhm.
And then I did that, and they didn't get back to me for ages, and then they lost my form and all this. So I thought I was already on the waiting list. I waited like 3 months. Turns out I wasn't even on there.
What?
They lost the form, and then finally a doctor rang me, um, asked me um, why I'm looking to get diagnosed, and what I struggle with, and if I have any friends.
Wow.
And that was all he asked. And then I got a letter in the post saying, um, we don't think that an autism diagnosis is like a right route for you, so we're like terminating your um like diagnosis journey here.
What?
And I was
I
like, okay.
There are so many things to unpick there. Oh my god.
Yeah, so that wasn't great. And then my partner was like, "You should contest it." And I was like, "I just can't be
Mm.
bothered, honestly."
It's too much effort, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. So I waited like that was like a year prior to me getting my diagnosis, and then it kind of came back around again. I was like, "No, I do really want to know."
Mhm.
So I looked into private, which was kind of like the only option left. And I was at this point I was so desperate that waiting didn't really feel like an option for me. I was kind of at like a crisis point of if I don't find out this soon,
Mhm.
I think I'm just gonna have like a really bad breakdown.
Mhm.
So went the private option. Very, very grateful that my parents paid half. So it took the total price down by quite a lot, but it is not cheap.
That's great that you could, like, split it kind of thing, but
Yeah, I'm so aware that like so many people do not have the finances to do
mhm.
private. So I'm very grateful that that was actually an option for me.
Mhm.
Um, but found a local um, organization, and they were so lovely. And the whole process from like initial inquiry to diagnosis only took like 3 months.
Wow. Whereas the doctor lost your paperwork in that amount of time.
I know, but and they were just the loveliest people, and it was so thorough
Mhm.
that I was sure that whatever the answer was gonna be the right answer.
Oh, that's good.
So, yeah.
I mean, it's so sad to hear the NHS route, but it's a story I've heard time and time again,
Mm,
and it's a story I battled with myself. So
yeah,
it is, you just, you think it would be getting better, but it isn't.
it's just getting worse.
Yeah, and that was only a year ago. And
Yeah,
also, you now have a diagnosis, so like, why are doctors just not giving you the time? I know they don't have the time, but
yeah, it's hard.
there's so many issues
Yeah,
at play
definitely.
there. Yeah, I was gonna say, were you kind of working sort of full time, and was it kind of just sort of overwhelming being in an office sort of thing? Was that what was kind of making you think
Yeah, I
more?
think so. I'd recently kind of got an office job, like a 9 to 5,
Mhm.
and thought, "Ah, yes, I've made it.
Mhm.
I'm a corporate girly now, big girl job," and just really struggled with it. Like the 24/7 masking, it was such a professional environment,
Mhm.
and it was in sales, which probably wasn't the best idea, but it was a lot of making phone calls to people, asking if they wanted the product, even though you kind of knew before you phoned them that it was probably going to be a no, and you were just
Mhm.
kind of inconveniencing the person you were calling. So that was a lot of anxiety every single day.
Yeah,
And
I
I,
can
I used to
imagine.
use I used to use my holiday to like I used to get my calendar and I used to mark off. I said I've got this many days of holiday. I used to mark it out so I could have like 2 4-day weeks a month, but I wouldn't
Right.
have any long like stretches of time off because I would use all my holiday doing that.
Oh, bless you.
And
Like,
then I tried to
just
move,
to manage,
yeah,
like, oh, bless you.
but then they moved me down to 4 days. But then it was impossible to live on that money.
Mhm.
So I was just kind of at a point of I actually don't know what to do. Like I can't sustain full time employment,
Mhm.
but I can't afford part time job.
Yeah.
So that was kind of my crisis of I just need to know why this isn't working when I look around in the
Mhm.
office and just see everyone like da 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 and like doing so much of their weekends, and I'm like I literally just sit and rot for 2 days and try and like recuperate some form of energy to bring into the next week.
Mhm. I don't understand how people have, also working in an office, how people do so much with their weekends, but also come in and haven't used their weekends as a recovery, like, time.
Yeah, I just literally sit there and try and absorb any energy that I can.
Yeah, like, it's the recovery period for
Mm,
being in work all week, like,
yeah.
hello. I'm so glad someone else like feels like that, because I feel like an office environment to work in is so draining in so many different ways, but
Yeah.
even more so for an autistic person who is constantly masking. Is it kind of like an open plan? Like, was it an open plan sort of?
Yeah, it was.
Oh,
Luckily, we had set desks, so that was something at least. I don't think I could cope with, like, pick a random desk. Like, I would like that one, the same one, every day, please.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, hot desking is not okay.
No. But I think they just, it was like painted to me as the dream job, and then I got into it and I was like, this is so hard.
Mhm. It's so annoying when you think that you've gotten to like the place that you want to be, but
Mm,
actually it's actually causing you more trouble in terms of mental health and, all things sensory and autism related.
yeah,
So,
for sure. Because
yeah.
I kind of got it because I was like, I kind of did like part-time retail jobs. Like some weeks I'd work a lot of hours, and then some weeks I'd work hardly any. So
Mhm.
overall, it kind of worked out as kind of like a part-time thing. And I was like, okay, I'm getting older now. Like, I should probably actually look for like a stable job. And then I got in one, and I was like, oh no,
What have I done?
yeah, this isn't
Uh,
for me.
yeah. And so you've got your autism diagnosis.
hmm
Were you still kind of working full time as you were kind of going through that process? Like what did you do after the diagnosis?
So I was on 4 days a week when I got diagnosed. Um, because I was very open with my employer. Luckily, they were so lovely, and I was always very open. I was like, even when I started, I was like, I don't have a diagnosis, but I think I'm autistic. I might struggle with these things.
Oh,
And
okay.
so they kind of knew that that was on the cards, and they were very as accommodating as they could be.
Mhm.
But I think the moment I got diagnosed, I was just kind of like, this isn't for me, and I am going to have to leave this job because the things that I struggle with,
Mhm.
I will always struggle with. Whereas before, I had a glimmer of hope of, oh, if I stay here a few more months, these things might get easier for me.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is actually never going to get easier.
Mhm.
Therefore, I have to leave. So, kind of after I got diagnosed, I was like, I'm going to have to think of some other options.
And were they understanding of you leaving as well, kind of thing, or?
Yeah, actually took 2 months off initially, sick, just for like my mental health. And
Okay, so you
then,
had the time to kind of think it
yeah,
through. Yeah.
and then in the end, I just didn't return because I was like, I'm still not well enough to come back, and I don't want to take up any more of your time. Like, I was like, for them, I'd rather them just get someone
Mhm.
else that could probably do the job a lot better than me,
Oh
rather than
gosh.
me take months and months off and
Yeah.
probably in the end not return.
God, you were going through that's a lot to go through. Like learning that you're autistic is one big thing to go through, but
Mm,
also having to come to the understanding that the job that you're in is, it just doesn't suit you and is making things worse.
yeah.
That's another huge life thing to be
Mm.
going through at the same time.
Definitely. And I was like 26 at the time, so I'm just kind of feeling like the clock's ticking. Like, when am I gonna find this like career that everyone has? Like, what does that look like for me?
hmm I feel like comparison as well it's like everyone's like, don't compare yourself to like people your own age, but it's really hard not to.
It's so hard, so hard.
So, were you always kind of creative in some sort of sense? Like, what made you kind of come to Instagram with this lovely little snail? Like, where did that all start?
I've always been creative, so I did art in school, and then I did an art diploma in college, and then I did illustration at university.
Oh, okay, cool.
Um, but uni just completely burnt me out, so I haven't really drawn since uni
hmm
until I started this Instagram page. But it came about in my old job because I would just sit at my desk and I would just think, I'm just watching my life like go by, and this job isn't really giving me a purpose. Like, I wanted something to do outside of work that kind of gave me a purpose and felt like I was like alive for a reason, rather than just, I go to work and then I come home and I sleep and then I do it all again.
You're almost
And
just like existing.
yeah,
Like, yeah.
that's really what it felt like. And I was like, I just want something to sit at work and be like, oh, but when I get home, I can do this. And it was such a like spur of the moment decision. I was just at my desk at home and I just turned to my partner and I was like, I think I'm just gonna like do a digital mental health diary and do, because I'd seen like influencers and things, and that's probably what inspired me the most, who talk about their autism and mental health, but never wanted my face to be kind of the front, like not very comfortable with that.
I can get on board with that. That is exactly the same as me.
So I was like, I'm just going to make this snail because I love snails and it will just be me.
Right, okay.
And I drew a snail and I named it Sludge, and I did a post like, hi, I'm Sludge. I'm anxious and like want you to come on my journeys with me, and posted it. And that was that, really.
That's so cool. I love that you were just like, I'm gonna do this thing. I'm just gonna give it a go. Like, that's so cool.
Yeah, I think I was just like, if I did it for me, so if people liked it, that was great. But if no one liked it, that was fine, because it was just like my like visual diary was the initial idea.
Right.
But yeah, people do like it, so that's good.
Yeah. Oh, do you know what? I was just like, I'm gonna scroll back on Instagram because I'm sure that I saw your work and followed you. So I can see, was it last year that you started or was it the year
Yes,
before?
I think it was like last May.
Right. Okay. So I came across your work on the 26th of September last year,
Wow, very
and
early.
I said Happy Autism Diagnosis Day. Was that your
Yeah, that must have been it.
It must have been it. Ah.
Ah, that's so cute.
So that is how I think I came just randomly happened across it. So
Hmm.
that must have been relatively, yeah, early on in.
Yeah, because I battled with a while, especially when it started to gain traction,
Mhm.
with the fact that I wasn't diagnosed
Mhm.
and I was putting out all this like autism related content, and I felt a bit underqualified, if you like. And I was like worried, like, what if someone asks me if I'm diagnosed and I say no, and they might not want to follow my page anymore because they might think I'm lying or making it up, or
Mhm.
something ridiculous like that was something I struggled with
Mhm.
in the early days. And then getting diagnosed, I was like, oh, what if I'm not? What do I do with this page then that I've created?
And also, like, I don't know if you have this as well, like having got a diagnosis, the imposter syndrome of like, but am I though?
Yeah, it was really, really hard.
It never
Spent
ends.
spent years being like, I definitely am. And
Mhm.
then the period of time you're getting like assessed, I was just like, I'm not. I, I've made this all up.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not. I'm wasting anyone's time. I've wasted my money. I've wasted my parents' money. And then it was like, no, you are. And I was like, oh right, yeah, cool.
Isn't it mad? Like we talk, like we're kind of like, oh, I must be this. Yeah, I think I'm this. I think I'm this. And then when you're going through the process, you're like, but what if I'm not? Like it's such a like it's literally the autistic mindset of not
Yeah,
knowing that you're autistic.
I think it's like the literal thinking.
Oh yeah,
It's just
definitely.
like you read the criteria and it's like, oh, are you a literal thinker? And you're like, oh, no. Or like, you know, all the questions you think of so literally.
Mhm.
And you're like, well, I don't experience that exactly like that. But that's not actually what they're asking you. They're asking you if you experience it in your own way.
Yeah, and I kind of feel like if you're questioning the questions, that's quite a good indication that you're autistic because
Yeah.
you're trying to get to the bottom of what on earth it's asking you to.
Mm. And
Yeah.
my therapist was like, she was like, people who aren't autistic do not think this deeply about if they're autistic. And I was like, yeah, you're probably right, you know.
Damn it.
She's got me again.
She got you again. That is the thing. I feel like it's that realization of like, oh, not everyone is, having this inner turmoil constantly. Like,
Yeah. But then apparently everyone's autistic, so make that make sense.
oh my God, honestly. And the cycle continues. So you are currently working part-time, is that right? In terms of kind of illustration work, but also you run a business with your partner?
Yeah, I would say my illustration work is part-time in the sense that I squeeze it in when I have a fraction of spare time.
Right.
And then the business is full-time, ironically,
Right. Okay.
work more hours now than I ever have done in my life ever.
Oh.
But I think because it's our thing and it's for us and I don't have to mask and
Mhm.
like it's a completely accommodated environment, I can do more than I would
Mhm.
ever do at like a employed job, if you like.
And do you enjoy it more as well?
100%. Some days are hard because there's a lot that goes with running a business that you don't think about when you start it.
Mhm.
But on the whole, 1,000,000%, like I'm so much happier, so much less stressed. Just even my parents are like, you just seem so much happier. And I'm like, yeah, I really am.
Wow. That must be so nice for them to see and for your partner to see, like, just removing yourself from that previous environment, like, and knowing that you're autistic
Yeah,
is going to
definitely.
help. But that's great that you found something that, just to hear that it's 1,000,000% better. Like, wow.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And it's just happened at the perfect time
Mhm.
because it's like his business originally, and then it kind of blew up in January enough for me to come on board. So I'd had my 2 months break from work, mental health wise.
Mhm.
And he was like, just don't go back, take more time off. And then if you want to, you can join me. And
Okay.
that's what ended up happening. So
Oh,
it
amazing.
worked out perfectly.
That's great.
But yeah, it is a lot of work, but I squeeze in sludge when I can.
Well, I think you're pretty like consistent on the posting. Like, I feel like I always, I feel like you're at least like once a week you're posting, which I can not get near at all. Like,
Yeah, I do. I try and do every other day.
that is a lot.
I
Like,
think because I went from when I first started, I did, when I first was like, okay, this is getting traction, I'm actually really going to go for it. I did 2 posts 7 days a week.
wow.
So to go down to like every one post every other day felt like I wasn't doing enough, but it's what's manageable.
Yeah, you definitely are. And also, like, it's really tricky to know, like, see me being like, oh, like, I definitely see a post from you a week. Like, I'm probably not being shown everything you're posting on,
Yeah,
Instagram and
100%.
stuff. So, like, that's wild. That is still sounds like a lot.
It is a lot, but it's what I enjoy. And
That's good. Like, it sounds like you've almost like it's a hobby that's also a joy to, kind of do each time.
yeah,
And you're
for
talking
sure.
about really important topics where I'm like, oh my God, yes, I feel this. Like, I see myself in sludge.
Oh, yeah, I just try and like, I do ask um, like my followers for like kind of their experiences sometimes, but
Mhm,
it's mainly on my own um, experiences. And I kind of schedule my posts a week ahead. So usually it's something to do with what I've felt that week that I'll draw.
mhm.
So most of it is just like raw experiences that I've had, and then I post them, and then people like loads of people engage with it, and I'm like, oh wow, like people really do feel the same as me.
That is quite, I do enjoy the sense of community like
Mm.
of people being like, yes, this is, exactly how I feel. You're like, oh, I'm not alone.
Yeah. And I do get a lot of messages saying how the page has really helped people, which is wild
Hmm.
to me, but that always gives me like that extra spurt of energy to be like, yes,
Yeah,
definitely keep
definitely.
going, because it's like, even if it makes a difference to one person, that like means
Yeah,
everything.
absolutely. And I kind of feel as well like the character that you've gone for, the fact that you love snails, like it's such a like I feel like it's such a like accessible kind of like rather than going with like, a whole kind of cast of characters and stuff like that.
Yeah.
People know what to expect because it
Mm.
will be sludge each time.
Yeah.
Like the fact that it's like the same each time, very
Mm.
much a autism thing,
Yeah.
he is going to feature. Like
Yeah.
I kind of love that, you know what to expect sort of thing.
Yeah. I like the way it's just like, it's just a snail. So it's not like a character that looks like me, and people might be
Yeah,
like, oh, I relate to that, but like I don't look like the character. Like, it's just a snail. You can like put yourself as, there's like, anyone can put themselves as a snail. It's not
yeah,
particularly
exactly.
the colors are just my favorite colors. They're not meant to provoke a gender or
Mhm.
a race or anything. It just happened to be like a really accessible character, which worked out really well.
Yeah, especially like you say, like everyone can kind of see a bit of themselves in
Mm.
sludge. So yeah, I think it's really interesting, and to see, obviously like the growth and people getting behind it is really, really lovely to see.
Yeah.
Um, but also you say you're running a business, and you're running a business with your partner. You're doing kind of drawing on the side, but you also have an Etsy store as well.
Yeah.
How do you do all this?
I don't know. I don't really. Do want to add more products to the Etsy store, which is something I do slack on a bit. Um, got loads of ideas and just never have the time to
Mhm.
execute them. But yeah, I was just like, people like sludge. I wonder if
Mm.
people might want to own a bit of sludge, and people did, and I was like, oh,
The key
cool.
rings are
Yeah,
so cute.
yeah, they did really well. They're probably my bestseller
Oh,
ever, to
really?
be honest. Yeah,
That's so cool. I honestly, I think the fact that you're juggling, it sounds like you're juggling kind of just as much as you were in your full-time job.
I would say more.
It's stuff you enjoy, is it? Oh my God.
Yeah, like definitely more. But I think because it all comes back to me,
Yeah.
it's more manageable rather than like, oh, I'm working for somebody else. That my hard work is benefiting them more than it's benefiting me.
Mhm.
Whereas everything I do now, if I work hard at something, that
Mhm.
is instantly gonna reward me.
Yeah.
So I think that's how I managed to do more than I could before.
Right. And I guess also the structure, and you kind of, I guess you can choose your own like day and
Yeah.
routine and
hmm
stuff. Are you quite structured, or do you kind of tend to go between sort of different
I
tasks?
am very, very structured, and I'm very rigid with time. I really struggle with like time anxiety, like being
Mhm.
even a minute late. That's just a meltdown. But my,
You were like 3 minutes early to this, and I was like, excellent.
yeah, I will always be early. My partner has ADHD,
Mhm.
so he has never been on time to anything in his entire life. So that's probably the biggest challenge, the in our life and business,
Mhm.
that ADHD versus autism can be hard.
Excellent.
But it works in the way that our brains work differently, so we do different jobs very well.
Mhm.
Like, things he's good at, I'm not good at, and vice versa. But yeah, when I'm like, can we get to work at like 9? But to me, that means the second it turns 9,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
want to be there. And to him, that means in the hour of 9 o'clock. I'm like, no, that's not what I mean.
You're running on different time zones there, but yeah.
Yeah. And some days I can handle it better than others, and some days I'm like, it makes it very hard for me. But we do try and keep to a structure, and as long as he tells me enough time in advance of
Yeah.
what the day might look like or the week, I can usually like pre-schedule it enough in my head to manage it.
That's good. And it sounds like you both kind of complement each other in terms of kind of both, like, obviously being in the relationship, but also business wise. It sounds like you know what you're good at and stick to that sort of thing. Like, that sounds like
Yeah,
a good dynamic.
definitely. Like his organization is maybe not the best. And that's quite an important element when you run a business, because there's like a lot of, legal things that need to be done at a certain time.
Yeah, there's so much admin, isn't there? And like
Yeah,
accounting and
yeah. But
scary stuff.
I I love an organized, so I kind of take that, and he does like he's like the main face of the business, and I just kind of do all the behind the scenes, which suits us very well.
Excellent. That sounds good. It sounds like everything kind of aligned in terms of kind of, you having kind of taken a break from your previous job and being able to go into this. It sounds
Mm.
like it kind of lined up sort of quite well. Did you have any kind of other sort of plans as to like what you might do work wise, or were you kind of just seeing sort of how things were going?
I think my plan was to take a pay cut and just do like a minimum wage job that had not much responsibility.
Hmm.
I think that I tested the higher wage, more responsibility.
Hmm.
Didn't enjoy, was just quite happy to go back down. Just have someone tell me what to do. I do that, and then I go home.
Yeah.
That was probably, but then that was me kind of saying goodbye to ever reaching that like better wage I'd kind of seeked,
Hmm.
and just kind of being like, that isn't maybe achievable for me.
Hmm.
But my happiness and mental health comes way in front of any money, because I'd rather just enjoy my days than
Yeah.
have extra money that I can't enjoy because I'm too exhausted and burnt out and just mentally distressed.
Yeah, that's a really good way of putting it actually. Like, I didn't think like, you can have, a better salary, but if you can't do the things that you might like to do with that salary
Mm,
because of, your mental health and things, like that does say, like I feel like as an autistic person it's really hard to work out like your priorities, but also like whether or not to like change jobs and things. Like
mm,
I find that so hard because obviously change and being autistic is
not fun.
horrible. Yeah. So, like, when people are like, "Oh, you should just leave," like, like I'm gonna start potentially doing like freelance work,
Mm,
and I've had lots of people being like, "You should definitely like, you should leave and do your own thing." And I'm like, "Yeah, I want to, but like doing that is another thing entirely.
yeah, 100%.
Like I need to think about it for for
You need
like,
to plan out every
yeah,
single scenario, and then you
yeah."
can go for it.
Yeah, exactly. And other people are just like, "Oh, just hand in your notice." And I'm like, "That sounds terrifying."
Yeah, that's probably the thing that took me the longest to do, like actually saying
Yeah.
like, no, I'm not coming back, because I was like, oh god, it's horrible.
Yeah, it's so, like, definitive, isn't it?
Mm,
It's like, I'm really bad with, like, transitions as well, and
mm,
again, autistic thing, isn't it? Like, starting and finishing kind of things life-wise
yeah,
or, like, I don't know, starting a new school or finishing uni and stuff like, oh,
yeah,
terrible. Like,
mm,
but I feel like it just keeps going into adulthood.
yeah. I think that's why I've if I look back, I've struggled my entire life, but adulthood really has highlighted that I really am struggling,
Mhm.
because everyone else just like everyone kind of struggles a bit in childhood and your teenage years. It's just an awkward time of life and you're figuring yourself out, and you kind of look around and think, oh yeah, the other people are, maybe not having the best time. And then you get to adulthood and you're like, oh, everyone seems to kind of figured it out, and I'm like,
Yeah.
why am I so behind on like figuring everything out?
Yeah, I'm like, I'm still awkward. Wait, what?
Yeah, I think I'm meant to grow out of this by now, and I really haven't.
Yeah. Yeah, and I feel like, I don't know if you had kind of had that at school. You're like, once I'm older, it'll be better. I'll be able to cope better. I'll be able to
Yeah.
manage. Like, I'll
Hmm.
have coping mechanisms. That's not really been the case.
No, it's just got worse.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, it's so, yeah, frustrating.
Mm.
But yeah, I think it sounds great that you found this kind of creative outlet to just discuss stuff, and it's really nice seeing your work, and also like the fact that you're doing like animation stuff now. Like,
Mm.
is that something that you want to kind of like do more of? Like, it's really cool to see yeah, just how your like style has grown as well.
Yeah, for sure. I find the animation quite taxing, if I'm honest.
It's
I
quite
think,
confusing,
yeah,
keyframing stuff, isn't it? And
I've never been taught in animation,
mhm,
so it's just been downloaded the app and went for it.
mhm.
And I kind of do the animations because, like, you need reels on Instagram,
Yeah,
so your Instagram doesn't just like die off.
it's
But
annoying that.
yeah, so reels really, they're always the last post I'll make because I'm just like, oh.
Hmm.
But I think I've kind of got the knack of, if I just do short, snappy ones,
Hmm.
then it doesn't take too much time. It's not too taxing on me, and um, I can get like a short message across. Whereas before I do like a minute long one, and it just takes hours and hours and hours and hours. And then I use Procreate Dreams.
Oh, okay. I haven't tried that.
Um, it's good because it's like Procreate's a one-off payment, and then
Yeah.
you're done. But it is very finicky.
Oh,
And
okay.
like sometimes you've just spent hours on something and then it just does something else and you're like, oh, that's okay.
That's terrifying. So do you use Procreate to draw in, and then
Hmm.
yeah, okay, I see. And do they? I'm assuming they like work together. Like, you can import stuff
Yeah,
into.
kind of, but
Oh, okay.
the Procreate Dreams doesn't have the smoothing tool, which like kind of like
Right.
smooths out your lines. It's like raw. Whatever you draw with your pencil is what's coming out,
Ah, okay.
which is hard sometimes.
Yeah.
So I usually draw each frame in Procreate and drag it in,
Oh my gosh.
which takes a lot. I'm sure there's an easier way of doing it, but that's how I do it, and that's probably
That's how you
how I'll
do
do
it.
it forever.
At least you definitely found a workaround there. It sounds like it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I do like that Procreate is just like, you pay like 9.99 or something, and
and
then
then it's
it's just
done.
yours. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, very accessible.
Yeah, it's better than Adobe.
Mm. But I do like to push my art style, like when I feel like I kind of get to points where I'm drawing and I feel like I'm not really thinking too much about it.
Mhm,
And that's usually the point where I'll be like, I'm going to try and push this a bit further now
mhm.
and change it up a bit. Even though I don't like change, I really struggle with feeling complacent. I'm someone who like really likes to push themselves.
Mhm. You don't wanna
So,
feel stuck in the same.
no.
Yeah.
So, usually, if my drawing feels too easy, I'll usually look to be like, okay, how can I change it up? How can I keep it the same, but like progress it forward like another step,
Mhm.
which is good. And I usually try, and if my posts are really changing, um, like on my story, give people the heads up that, you know, post from now on might look a little bit different,
Mhm.
just because it can be jarring sometimes when an artist kind of tweaks something and you weren't expecting it, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
that thing I love now looks different, and I don't know how I feel about it.
Yeah. It's nice to know that that's coming as well, just like
Mm.
a heads up, like, the fact that you appreciate that. And I also think, like, I don't know if you kind of found this when you like started drawing and posting on Instagram. Like my style was unbelievably like flat,
Mm,
whereas now I feel like I've kind of got more like shading, gradients,
yeah.
like more kind of color stuff. Like I feel like you do just keep kind of iterating each
Hmm.
time you post. So I do definitely, yeah, get that if you scroll back, it's gonna look different.
Yeah, for sure. And I was worried about that for a while. Like, do I just keep it the same forever? But then I'd look through like other artists' stuff and be like, well, no, theirs doesn't look like it did a year ago. But
Mhm.
I think they've like furthered their art and that looks good. So I can do
Mhm.
that as well.
Yeah, I think it does help looking at other people's and thinking like, oh, I shouldn't be too worried about this. But like,
Yeah, for sure.
thing is, like, I also find it doesn't help like when Instagram are like changing the sizes of
Oh, that was not fun. That was not a
posts.
good
Like,
day.
that was not a good day, was it? It's like, what are you doing? Like,
I've only just in the past like month, I'd say, maybe not even that, um, accepted the fact that they're rectangles and changed my posts to rectangles.
have you?
Yeah, but I
You've
I
made the
think it
leap.
looks better on the grid now, but at first I was like, no, squares forever.
Yeah, and then like I went back through all my posts and like resized them
Yes.
like to the covers. Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh,
But if you'd advertised them, you couldn't resize them.
oh really?
Yeah, so I've got ones if you scroll back that are like super zoomed in. I can't change that.
Oh, that is annoying.
Yeah.
They just sit there looking at you like there's nothing you can do. That is annoying.
Yeah, so now I don't advertise anything just in case I need to change the profile. I can't handle it.
The fear that's
Yeah.
set in. I like that. I was going to ask you as well, like, do you, when you kind of have an idea for a drawing, are you a notebook and pencil or pen kind of person first, or do you go straight to digital? Like, I always find that interesting to ask.
I always go straight to digital. I've never been much of a sketchbook person, even
Mhm.
in like college and uni. I always basically made my sketchbook up for the grades
Yeah,
because
I
I'd
get
kind
you.
of think of an idea and then
Hmm.
develop it quite fast
Hmm.
without too many changes. I kind of like I just really vividly imagine it, and more than likely I'll change a couple things, but it kind of comes out how I've pictured it in my brain.
Hmm.
So in education, they'd be like, "Oh, you need to show your process more," and I'd be like, "That was my process. Those three drawings was my process, voila." And they'd be like, "Oh, you've got to like pretend you changed the colors," and I'd have to make up this
Yeah.
elaborate process, which I didn't do. But I just kind of like decide the background color first,
Hmm.
and then just sketch this like horrifically drawn snail that takes me like 2 seconds,
Yeah.
like scrawl the text on, like map out the facial expressions and the background, and then just kind of like go straight in after that.
Okay, so you're making like a thumbnail to work to sort of
Yeah,
thing, and then kind of going in over it
yeah,
sort of thing. That makes sense. I think also because things like Procreate, it is so easy to just kind of open up the app and just play a bit before you get
yeah.
to your final design. I do
Hmm.
get that. Um, yeah, no, it is interesting, like hearing other people's like process.
I'm really new to digital art as well.
Okay.
I've only done digital art like for 3 years. I was a very practical artist.
Hmm.
But then I got an iPad and never looked back. But I do want to create some like one of one prints painted eventually.
That would be cool.
But it's been so long since I've painted, it might take me a while to get back into the swing of it.
You should try like I definitely feel like sludge would look great in like Posca pens. Like the really
Yeah.
bright paint pens,
Mhm.
and then at least it feels like you're still like holding a pen, like
Yeah,
rather than maybe
like a
all the way to
brush.
paint. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just feel like the pink, especially, I can see that
Yeah, for sure.
happening in a Posca pen. I was going to ask you in terms of like sort of autistic masking, which we've definitely kind of touched upon in terms of like workplaces,
Mm.
but do you feel like you are more yourself and more unmasked as an autistic person now that you know you're an autistic person? Like, how do you feel? Like, has that changed at all, or do you still kind of rely on masking quite a bit?
I would say that I give myself more accommodations,
Mhm.
in terms of I feel like I'm better now at knowing my energy levels and where I kind of am in terms of like sensory overload
Mhm.
and knowing what I can and cannot handle. So I'm
Okay.
better at if I have plans. Like I was meant to go to this fair the other week and I just knew it was going to be too busy and too crowded and I would last like 10 minutes.
Mhm.
So I accommodated myself there by being like, I'm really sorry, I'm not going to come because it's just too much for me. But unmasking in public, I probably haven't got very far with that. I find
Mhm.
it hard to. Got the headphones, I've got the fidgets, I've got the lanyard. I really struggle to use them.
Same. Okay, cool.
I don't know what it is.
Mhm.
Like I think it's the fact that I feel like I can blend in more, obviously, when you're masking.
Yeah, and when you don't have these tools like
Mhm.
out, and yeah, I do get that.
So I feel like if I wear them, I'm more likely to stand out, even though I've got fluorescent pink hair, so I'm probably standing out anyway before I've put any headphones on or a lanyard.
I
But
do, yeah, I agree. And also, like the lanyard, especially, like it's great, like not knocking it, but
mm,
it highlights that you.
are different in some way.
Well, yeah, although I just kind of also think it might, I don't know, highlight to people that you might be a little bit more vulnerable. Like
Mm,
I you know, it would kind of hide. Like if I was wearing mine out and about, I do think like I'd need to be careful, kind of thing. Like I don't know if people would
yeah, you're like
come up and
highlighted as like,
question.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
not
exactly.
always for a good reason.
Yeah, um, it's tricky, isn't it? Like you want to use these tools, but you also don't want to bring attention or highlight stuff, or you know, like people might think it's potentially kind of childish when it isn't, and it's just
Yeah,
you say all this and then you're like, God, it's so much effort. Like I'll just continue to mask. So I do get that.
yeah, it's something I really do want to work on because
Mhm.
I feel like I do preach it and then don't take my own
Yeah,
advice. But like
yeah.
with the noise cancelling headphones are like the only things that really work for me because I've
Mhm.
tried loops and I do love them, but I can't. It's like the underwater feeling they give me.
Like in your head, kind of.
Yeah, and I can
Yeah,
hear myself so loud, but I
yeah.
struggle to regulate my volume
Mhm.
because I sound so loud to myself, but I don't think I'm actually projecting my voice.
Right.
And
Okay.
everyone's like, "What? What? I can't hear you." And I'm like, "Oh, it's too much effort." So with the noise cancelling headphones, I don't get that underwater feeling. I don't feel like I'm loud.
Mhm. Yeah, I
But
do. I do
also,
get that.
I don't know. I haven't worn mine in ages, and I keep going to the supermarket. Every time I'm there, I'm like, should definitely brought my headphones because this is horrible without them. Um, but I think it's just living your entire life without them.
Yeah.
It's like you just forget, and then you
Yeah.
get there, and you're like, I should have definitely bought those.
That's the thing. It's only when you're in the environment you're like I know that this is how I'm going to feel in this environment, but I forget every time.
Mhm.
And I'm like, oh. So yeah, I do definitely get that. I'm almost jealous of the autistic people that can and do like use all these tools and are, I don't know, just like, visible. I think it's so
Yeah.
cool. Like if I was in a group, like kind of autistic people, like going out and about, like I think I'd feel better maybe about
Yeah.
being more like
Mm.
open about it. But I definitely get like on your own, you're like, I would like to blend in, please.
Yeah, and I think it's the things like I remember around Christmas I went to a restaurant with my friend
Mhm.
and it was so unbearably noisy. but I was at this like semi-nice restaurant, and I was like, I can't whip out my headphones because it's just like, it's so not the vibe. But also I'm struggling so much, I'm like not even paying attention to what my friend's saying. She may as well not be there, because all I'm thinking about is that I'm having the worst time, because all I can hear is people clanging their cutlery and chewing and the just murmur of like conversations. If I just put my headphones on, I could enjoy the time that I've chosen to spend with my friend, but instead I'm choosing to, I don't know, accommodate everyone around me by not looking like rude, I guess, in a restaurant. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense, but it's hard to like teach yourself that it's like you do come first and it's okay.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm almost like upset if somebody suggests somewhere to go and I know that it's loud. I'm like, but I want to be able to hear you. Like,
Yeah.
please let's not go there. I don't understand people that go to like catch up with people at like bars or like clubs or
No.
something like. I'm
Yeah.
like, but you're not going to catch up because you're not going to be able to hear each other. Like, I feel like that is a key element of catching up with someone.
Yeah, like me and my partner literally never go out to dinner because I just don't enjoy it. I'd rather take away and like be at home in a nice place. But then I feel like, oh, should we be doing dinner dates? Because that's what you do. Like, you know, with your partner, you go on dinner dates. But then we'll go on one and we'll literally like gan it down our food in like 5 minutes, and then we're done. And we're like, well, that was just pointless.
I like that you found a partner in crime though who is also like, this is terrible. Like,
Yeah,
let's go.
We kind of realised quite soon on that we probably just shouldn't bother with that.
That's excellent. That's nice that you both feel the same way, at least. Like, at least, you know, not one of you's like, we need to go out more. Like, that would be painful.
Yeah, no thank you. Let me just stay at home.
Exactly. One other question I was going to ask you is special interests. Now, I know you like snails. I believe that has become obvious over the course of this podcast and in your work, obviously. But do you have any other special interest / do you have time for special interests?
Anime is a massive special interest of mine. I think also
Cool.
for the art style, I probably take a lot of inspiration from that. But I'm quite lucky that I'll be able to pack orders while watching something.
Okay, that's good.
So I'm very lucky in the fact that I basically just consume anime like 12 hours a day. So that's
Excellent.
Great. Anything pink, but if it's pink, I'll buy it.
I mean, if your hair's pink as well, I
Yeah.
should have, seen that coming.
And just, I'd say what ties into anime is just like I really love Japanese culture. So like any of the Sanrio or the food, I'll just watch people eat Japanese food on YouTube for hours. And I try to learn Japanese. That's actually really hard.
Isn't it like one of the hardest? Like,
Yeah.
it's pretty up there with like Chinese as well, I think, is
Yeah,
just
I
because of
think
the letter forms and things.
if I went, I could probably order food and ask where something is, and say hello and goodbye, and that's probably about it.
I mean, I think that's probably more than most people.
Oh well, my hours have paid off.
Do you think you'd ever like want to go there? Like, or do you think like it feels like quite a busy place?
I definitely do want to go there, but I've spoken to people that have been there, and they're like, you will probably find Tokyo hell, even though it's like so cool. But they were like, it took me like a few days to acclimatize, so
Wow.
give yourself probably more than that to like get used to how busy and noisy it is. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, maybe go more like rural. Like it
Yeah.
does sound like a very kind of pretty place outside of the
Yes.
kind of, but it would be interesting to see what it was like. But I would. It does sound like hell. And like when you see the like videos of the like zebra crossing and
Yeah, I'll just get run over.
yeah, I would literally be like, just run me over. Like it's not worth the battle to get to the other side of the road.
But I've never really had like, that's another reason why I was like, am I autistic? Because I haven't had like a long standing special interest.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know a lot of people liked something when they were very young, and it's still their special interest to this day. So I struggled to relate to that because I've just gone through like very intense phases of different things
Mm-hmm.
rather than like one reoccurring theme. It's just been like 2 years of like intense love for this thing, and then I'll be
Mm-hmm.
like, cool, well, never going to be interested in that ever again. What's next?
Excellent. Like, yeah, I do definitely. I feel like that's almost like the lesser kind of like side of stuff in terms of like when you hear special interests, it's just like the thing you see the most online is people engrossed for
Mm,
years in, you know, a particular set of kind of interests or collections kind of thing. But I kind of feel like you're right. Like there are intense periods of interest and then you
mm,
might kind of move on or move back to it at some point.
yeah,
Like I feel like they're definitely more like fluid than it comes across. So I can definitely see why you were like, am I?
yeah. And it also I struggle a bit with my identity in that sense because it'll be like my entire life for 2 years. It'll be my entire world, and then
Mm.
I might wake up and be like, oh no, it's not that, it's this.
Hmm.
And like it's almost like I morph into like a different person. Like my core fundamentals are the same, but it'll change how I dress or how I like style myself, what I like
Okay.
keep around me. So it's kind
Hmm.
of hard to get like a true sense of self when
Yeah.
your interests can change you that drastically.
Also, do you find that like having to explain that to like people is a bit like, you know, maybe family and friends might not be as like understanding or be like, I thought you were into this. Like,
Yeah, like I was quite close to my cousins when we were younger,
mhm.
and if I'd changed my interest, they'd just be like, "Oh, how long is this phase gonna last?" Like, and they'd guess
Ugh.
like my next phase, and that was probably like looking back, I'm like, oh yeah, like that kind of makes sense now that I guess it is seen as a phase, but it was just so to the outside perspective
Mhm.
to be seen as so like in love with something wholly, and then next time they've seen me at something completely different is
Yeah.
like very like, oh, she'll just grow out of that one.
And you're like, watch me.
Yeah.
I won't. Do you find that as well? Like, have you found yourself since getting your diagnosis and just kind of learning more about yourself? Like, have you been able to kind of look back and think like, oh, like in my childhood, that this might have been kind of, you know, an autistic me? Like, can you see those little kind of like threads throughout your life, sort of thing?
100%. I definitely look back and I'm like, oh, that makes sense. Like, I
You're
wish
like,
I could just go back and tell like younger Hannah, like, it's fine.
oh,
It's actually because of this. Like, you're not weird or strange or.
it's mad, isn't it? Like, that's the thing about late diagnosis is that you're like, now I kind of know the lens in which to look through things,
Mm,
but I could have done with that like 25, 26 years earlier. Like,
yeah, I think the biggest question that always comes up in my head is I wonder if I would be as, quote, capable as I am now if I was diagnosed as a child,
mhm.
or can I tolerate more now just because is that just how I was always going to be, or is it just because I've spent like 26 years of my life like forcing myself to fit
Yeah,
into the neurotypical world? Like that's what I always think of, and I'll never know the answer.
like almost kind of mourning like what opportunities maybe you could have had
Mm,
or opportunities that you might not have had
yeah.
because
Mhm.
of how you were, yeah, raised. I get that. yeah, it's really hard not to think like that. To think like, oh, if I'd known sooner, if I'd had more support, could I have, potentially managed better, kind of thing. But yeah, you're right. Like, it's kind of you'll never know, so it's kind of kinder to yourself to try not to think about it.
Yeah, it's kind of like a double-edged sword. Like,
Yes.
I might have had an easier time, but then
Yeah.
would I have done certain things?
Yeah. No.
Because I might not have, because I would have understood that that probably wasn't for me, but I actually just forced myself to do it because I didn't know that
Mhm,
that wasn't for me.
mhm. I definitely think like school and education wise as well, like things could have been easier.
100%.
Like, and in terms of like learning as well, there could have been, you know, better ways to learn if
Mm,
I'd known, kind of thing. Not that teachers would be potentially on board or not, I don't know. Yeah, it's hard. It's definitely hard not to look back, and it's definitely hard not to wonder, like, if I had this opportunity. But yeah, it's a difficult one. I feel like this is a podcast like topic episode in itself.
yeah, 100%.
Thank you so much for coming on my podcast. It's been really interesting to hear more about you and your life and the creation of Sludge, and also, yeah, just your autism diagnosis and how you are coping in this world. Yeah, it's been really interesting. Um, where can people find you on the internet should they want to follow you or potentially buy things from your shop?
So I'm SadSnailAdventures on all social media platforms, but I'm mainly active on Instagram,
Mhm.
and my main store is Etsy. But I do also do live demos, and I have a shop on an app called Whatnot as well, and that's
Ooh.
all the same handle.
Ooh, okay, cool. What I'll do is I'll pop all those links in the show notes. But yeah, that sounds great. Thank you so much for coming on.
Amazing. Thank you for having me.